You did nothing all day. So why does your brain feel like it got hit by a truck? You didn't run a marathon. You didn't build a house. You didn't wrestle a bear in a parking lot. You sat down. You scrolled. You answered maybe 3 messages. You thought about doing laundry. You did not do laundry. And somehow, by the evening, you feel completely destroyed, which feels unfair, because technically, you rested. At least that's what it looked like from the outside. But inside your head, something else was happening. Your body was on the couch. Your nervous system was running a small emergency management department. And that is the problem. Most doing nothing days are not actually empty. They are full of invisible work, the kind of work that drains you without giving you the satisfaction of finishing anything. No progress bar, no finish line, no dramatic music, just a quiet battery leak. First, there is the invisible monster in the room, background anxiety. This is when nothing urgent is happening, but your body doesn't believe it. Maybe you're lying down, maybe your face looks calm, but somewhere in the back of your mind, a tiny security guard is pacing with a flashlight. Something might happen, a message might arrive, someone might need something. You might remember the thing you forgot. Your brain stays on standby, and standby mode still uses power. This is why you can spend an entire day relaxing and never actually feel rested. Because real rest is not just the absence of work. Real rest requires a sense of safety. Your brain has to believe, at least for a while, that nothing is being demanded from you. But modern life is almost perfectly designed to ruin that feeling. Your phone is a glowing little portal where anyone can interrupt your nervous system at any moment. Work can appear. News can appear. Drama can appear. A random email from a company you forgot existed can appear and somehow make you feel guilty. So you're not really resting. You're waiting. And waiting is exhausting. Then there is the cursed calendar effect. You know that weird thing that happens when you have one small event later in the day? A call at 4, an appointment at 6, a task you should start soon. Suddenly, the whole day becomes unusable. You are technically free, but emotionally, you are not free at all. Part of your brain is guarding that future event like a nervous dog. Don't forget. Don't get too comfortable. Don't start anything big. Check the time. Check it again. For no reason. This is how a 15-minute obligation can poison 5 empty hours. The task itself is small, but the waiting expands to fill the entire day. And the worst part is that waiting doesn't look productive. So by evening you feel tired and guilty. Tired because your brain was active. Guilty because nothing visible got done. A perfect scam. Then comes the death by tiny choices. People think exhaustion comes from huge life decisions. Should I quit my job? Should I move to another country? Should I reinvent myself because I watched one motivational video at 2 a.m.? But often the real damage comes from tiny decisions stacked all day long. What should I eat? Should I reply now? Should I clean first or make coffee first? Should I open that message? Should I feel bad about not opening that message? Every decision is small, almost stupidly small, but your brain still has to touch it, pick it up, turn it around, compare options, predict consequences, then usually put it back down without closure. By the end of the day, you haven't made one big decision, you've made 1,000 tiny almost decisions. And that creates mental mud. You are not tired from action, you are tired from friction. This is why scrolling can feel more exhausting than cleaning a room. Cleaning a room has a direction. The floor gets clearer, the trash disappears, the table becomes usable again. There is evidence that something changed. Scrolling has no finish line. Every swipe is another tiny decision. Watch or skip, care or don't, compare yourself or don't, open the comments and ruin your mood, or behave like a stable adult for once. Your brain keeps reacting, but nothing resolves. It is stimulation without completion, and completion matters. The brain likes closed loops. Start something, do it, finish it, feel the click. But modern nothing days are full of open loops. The message you should answer, the tab you should read, the bill you should check, the plan you should make, the life you should somehow optimize by Tuesday. Each one stays open in the background, not loud enough to make you act, just loud enough to stop you from resting. That whisper is expensive. And then there is the emotional layer, because when people do nothing all day, they usually don't just rest. They judge themselves for resting incorrectly. You think, I should be enjoying this. I should be productive. I'm wasting time. Why am I still tired? What is wrong with me? Congratulations. Your day off has become a performance review with you as the employee and you as the angry manager. No action, no rest, just self-monitoring. It feels like doing nothing. But inside you are running a tiny courtroom. The prosecutor says you're lazy. The defense says you're burned out. The judge is scrolling TikTok. Nobody wins. So what actually helps? Not a dramatic life transformation, not waking up at 5 a.m. and becoming a productivity monk with a glass water bottle. The first thing is to separate rest from avoidance. Avoidance says, I'm not doing the thing, but I'm still mentally attached to it. Rest says, I have officially put the thing down for now. That difference matters. Instead of vaguely avoiding a task all day, Give it a container. I'm not doing this until tomorrow at 10. That one sentence closes the loop for now. Your brain stops checking it every 30 seconds like a broken security camera. The second thing is to reduce fake choices. Decide boring things once. Same breakfast. Same time to answer messages. Same place for unfinished tasks. Same rule for when the day is over. This sounds boring because it is. That's the point. A brain drowning in tiny decisions does not need more inspiration. It needs fewer menus. The third thing is to create one real ending. Do one small physical task with a visible result. Wash one cup. Take out one bag of trash. Put 5 things back where they belong, not because this will fix your entire life. It won't. The cup is not magical, but it gives your brain something rare, evidence. Something changed, something ended, one loop closed. And finally, stop calling every quiet day doing nothing. Sometimes you were recovering. Sometimes you were processing stress. Sometimes you were carrying invisible tension for hours. Sometimes you were not lazy. You were on alert. A human body can rest while doing very little, but it cannot rest while waiting for danger, judgment, messages, decisions, and imaginary future problems at the same time. So maybe the question is not, why am I exhausted if I did nothing? Maybe the question is, what was my brain doing while I thought I was doing nothing? Because maybe you didn't do nothing. Maybe your body had a day off, but your nervous system worked a double shift.